This is Mick Foley, the Hardcore Legend, and this is InYourHeadOnline.com.
All right, and we're back. Welcome to In Your Head. I'm your host, Jack, along with my right-hand man,
1-inch biceps.
And tonight on the phone with us is a man who usually is with Head, but tonight he is in your head. Welcome to the show, Al Snow.
Welcome, guys. How are you? Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Oh, we appreciate you being on. I'm good.
Pretty good.
Cool. And tell everybody else.
Considering that you live in West Virginia, yeah, things got to pick up from there, huh?
Hey, you know, this is like the biggest thrill of my life, doing this little internet radio show. So.
Well, of course, you live in West Virginia.
We were talking to Al beforehand.
You know, and your buddy there, 1-inch biceps, lives in Massachusetts. Right now, he's got a
oh man,
mask on.
Oh, he's the spirits. You mixed us up. The 1-inch biceps is in West Virginia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, you know, you got to keep a scorecard.
Yeah, we should send this out beforehand. A little facts.
You should give it like a program, complete with pictures and everything.
You can check out our website for all the pictures. That's InYourHeadOnline.com.
I'm sorry, I'm under 18. I can't go on those sites.
Well, the 1-inch, that means his biceps. It doesn't refer to anything else.
It doesn't?
No. Not that I speak from experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you know?
I don't know. I don't think there's any stories about inches.
1 inch? 1 inch would mean like, you know, he's 1 inch short, 1 inch around, so they call him Super King.
Stumpy, something of the sort.
Right.
Stumpy, yeah.
So we didn't bring Al on here just to ridicule 1-inch biceps.
Uh-huh.
We brought him here for that, too, but we're going to tell everybody he's going to be at Millennium Wrestling Federation, the MWF, Zero Tolerance, this Saturday, May 20th, in Braintree, Mass. For more information, please visit MWFProWrestling.com or BostonWrestling.com.
I think it would be a great show, and not just because I'm on it, but that goes without saying. I think it's going to be a terrific show. It's a show that, you know, families can come to. They can bring their kids, and, you know, it'll be a really good night out for a family to get out and have some fun.
Cool. And on that show, you're going to be wrestling Sudden Impact Danny Cage. Are you familiar with him?
Well, you know, it'll be quite sudden that I just found out about it. And I'm sure it'll be an impactful match for Danny Cage, being that he'll be impacting the match. He does that on a regular basis.
Right. You can also, what was that?
I said suddenly.
Suddenly, exactly. It's going to be sudden impact.
Because, you know, sudden impact.
Exactly. Also, you can check out their TV episodes right on their online site.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'll have to watch the film to see sudden impact Danny Cage. You know, maybe I can call myself eventual impact Al Snow.
If you buy a VIP ticket, you can go to the VIP Q&A with Al Snow yourself.
You mean I gotta buy a VIP ticket just to get in there?
I think so. I think that's part of the deal.
Really?
I think they might let you in for free.
Ticket's fun.
I'll talk to the promoter and see if I can get you in for free.
Thanks, man. I know you've got all the hookups.
Yeah. No, I think they're a pretty good deal, though. I think they're like $21.
That's not bad. I might buy a ticket just to go.
Yeah. And talk to yourself.
I'd want to watch myself.
Great. I think the general admission, it's $15 and $21 for the VIP.
What a bargain.
Right.
Is there like a coupon day or something, too?
I don't believe so. And maybe if you mention InYourHeadOnline.com, they'll let you in for the same price.
They don't want any of the people to do that. They might get ran off.
I was also told you're going to be scouting talent on the show for the WWE.
Yes, I am, as I am now WWE Talent Developmental Consultant. And that's a really fancy word for trainer.
Right.
I'm going to be, whenever I go any place, I always look for potential talent, to enlist into the developmental ranks to groom for possible positions, with Raw or SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. What factors do you look for?
Well, you know, I don't know.
Besides 1-inch biceps.
Yeah, 1-inch biceps would definitely be it. You know, the obvious, of course, are size, appearance, charisma, personality. I look for all of those things, but and professionalism. But the big thing I look for is a passion for the business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to see that they really want it for the right reason.
Right.
If they don't have a passion for the business, you know, we're going to take these guys and invest a tremendous amount of time and money and effort in them. And then before we can realize that investment, they're going to possibly crack. And when they crack, you know, they go home and they quit or whatever, we're going to lose all that time, money, and investment. And that, you know, for me to use that judgment is who's worthy of that time and money. And I give advice to all the independent wrestlers out there. If you want somebody to invest time and money in you should invest time and money and effort in yourself. And show up and look like a professional.
Right. You mean like wear like the right gear? Not just wrestling in your jeans or shorts?
And I'm not, look, I understand people. It's hard being on the independents and you don't have a lot of money. I was on the independents for years, and I always had gear. You know, I make a joke about the fact if it's not your gimmick, if your gimmick is not wearing that type of outfit, then don't be just a wrestler who comes out in a t-shirt and cut off shorts or something. You know, I always say that if it weren't for independent wrestling, Hot Topic would be out of business.
You know, you mentioned like kind of the total package you're looking for, charisma and size and everything. If someone would happen to have like a lot of charisma, maybe they didn't have the size, would you
I would be just as interested.
Okay.
Just as interested.
I think we're
opposed to what a lot of people think out there, the wrestling business is the most unbigoted business there is. And the reason why is because your job, your sole existence in professional wrestling is to sell tickets. Nothing else. That's it. And I don't care what race you are, what breed, what nationality, what color you are, what size you are. If you can put an ass every 18 inches, you're going to have a job.
right. You have a question from the board, Incher?
Yes. Rick Rude's Mustache, he asked, how did you meet Dan Severn?
I met Dan Severn through a friend of ours by the name of Denny Kaskowitz, who was a professional wrestler, but was also a very prominent amateur wrestler. He was a player coach for the U.S. Olympic team. And he and Dan had known each other from the amateur ranks. And when I owned the school, Montessori Gym, Lima, Dan had expressed an interest in Denny of training to become a professional wrestler. So I met Dan, and I started training to be a professional wrestler, and then wasn't that much longer after that Dan took an interest in doing the ultimate fighting and mass-based training. I did, and then I come to Oklahoma.
You on? You mentioned having a passion, the wrestlers should have a passion to be, want to be a wrestler. Do you have a passion to, that you want to train these guys, help them become a wrestler, or become better wrestlers? Is he still here?
I think we might have lost him.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
yeah.
there you are.
There you are.
Okay, there I am. Training, I like training the wrestlers because it might sound corny, but it gives back to the very business.
Uh-oh. I think we lost him again.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I'm still here.
All right, we hear you.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
I'm going to do my own cell phone commercial. Can you hear me now?
Might be all the rain up here in
I like training people because it gives back to the business that's given me so much.
Right. Do you think it helps that you mentioned earlier that, you wrestled on the indie scene for a long time, and maybe, what the WWE's looking for, and also you can sympathize with some of the indie wrestlers who've been wrestling for a long time on the indie scene?
Sure. great thing is people come and start complaining to me. Oh, I've been wrestling for 6 years. I haven't gotten a break. And I'm like, yeah, you better complain to somebody else. I did it for 14.
Right.
Before I got a break.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I can commiserate, but at the same time, they can't make excuses and use that as justification for anything either.
Right, because you've been there.
I've been there, done that, probably about 3 or 4 times more than what they did.
Mm-hmm. How do you think
that's why I can make statements about independent wrestlers not having the proper gear. You know, and they can say, well, you don't understand, because I ain't got no money. It's easy for you to say to invest time and money in yourself. You know, you work with WWE. Well, I did it for 14 years and I still did.
Right.
I had a gym membership. I went and worked out. And I don't think it's too much to ask that if you're going to portray being a professional wrestler, you should at least look like you make your living athletically.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be jacked up. You don't need to be all gassed to the gills. You don't need to have your traps up around your ears. Okay? You don't need to look like you're ready for the cover of Muscle Fitness. But for God's sake, at least look like you know a guy named Jim.
Right. Well, what are some of the mistakes you see some of the indie guys making?
Not really mistakes as much as that they just don't know. They have the mindset when they drive to the building on these independent shows. They're driving there and they're so concerned about having the best match of the night. I'm going to steal the show, or I'm going, you know, and they're only thinking in the context of I'm going to do this really cool high spot, great moves, which I'm a big fan of. Don't get me wrong. I have a tremendous amount of appreciation for that kind of thing.
Right.
But my problem with it is, instead of thinking about going to the building and how you're going to have the best match of the night, think about how you're going to have the best match of the night that's going to sell the most tickets the next time you come back.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's your job. Your job's not to have a good match. Your job's not to have a great match. Your job's not to do great moves. Your job's not to entertain the fans. Your job is to sell tickets.
Right.
To get people to pay to see. And that's the biggest mistake I see now.
Is there any type of style that you see that would actually deter a guy from getting a chance in the WWE? Like if they only worked like hardcore or the real strong style?
Now say that again.
Is there any like particular style that a guy wrestles that would actually deter? He'd have less of a chance to go to the WWE, like if he only works like hardcore style or strong style.
Well, no, there's no particular style that's going to deter the WWE from looking at potential wrestler. The only thing that's going to put, have WWE sit there and go, well, you know what, we're not really interested in this guy, is if the guy is, regardless of whether he's doing, I love when people say strong style, which just means I'll hit the guy, my opponent, really, really hard.
Right.
That's brilliant. How smart. That's, you know what, because I'll hit the guy really, really hard, but the only guy that can feel it is my opponent. Nobody else in the audience can feel how hard I'm hitting him, and therefore nobody can appreciate it anymore.
Right.
Instead of hitting him and making and because it's called a work for a reason, and if you actually were doing your job in the first place, you wouldn't have to hit him that hard.
Right.
The audience, this is the big surprise. The audience shows up for one reason only. Suspend their disbelief. The only disbelief they have, the only thing that's worked, the only thing that was ever made, boys and girls, was that the outcome was predetermined. So the more that you convince the audience that you're really out there trying to win and try not to lose, right from the start, the less you have to hit somebody really, really hard.
Okay.
Anyways, regardless of that, strong style, hardcore style, whatever, if you focus more on trying to sell tickets, whatever the style is, WWE will see that, will take note of that, and will be interested in it. What everybody fails to realize is that WWE, you have a 6-minute match on Raw. Let me ask you something, guys. How much does a 6-minute match cost?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nobody thinks of it. Oh, no. It costs a lot.
Oh, you mean for the TV time? Oh, the TV time, I got you.
A national commercial on Raw for 30 seconds costs, let's say, $10,000. We know it costs a lot more than that.
Right.
McMahon now gives you a 6-minute match. That's a 6-minute commercial, my friend. That means he just invested $120,000 over and above everything else. Do you think, A, Vince wants a really great match, B, a match that entertains the fans, or C, all of the above that will increase ticket sales?
Well, definitely all of the above.
For sure. Well, guys these days worry more about just having a great match than they do about having a match that will sell more tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And at $120,000 for 6 minutes, I think Vince wants that $120,000 back plus that.
Did you ever think of using like indie guys for Tough Enough? Because that way, if the winner would be, he'd be ready for WWE TV if they were already trained wrestlers.
Well, here's a newsflash. We actually asked indie guys up here and send in tapes to go to Tough Enough.
Right.
A lot of indie guys had suffered from severe cranial rectalitis, which is their heads were too far up their ass, and they believed that it was wrong of them to do so, or that it wasn't paying their dues, or that they'd be viewed like they wouldn't get respect for taking advantage of an opportunity. Mm-hmm. How stupid can you be? And this isn't knock on indie guys, but let me tell you something. If I had had that opportunity when I first broke into business 24 years ago, all you had to do was tell me what grocery store your wife was coming out of. Make sure it was canned good day so she couldn't move too fast as she was pushing the cart, and I would run her ass over. That whole idea is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You take whatever opportunity you can get to get your foot in the door, and then you earn the rest.
Are you guys going to do another Tough Enough?
I really don't know. Mm-hmm. I would love to, but I don't think that's going to be the problem.
Yeah, I think someone asked a question about that on the board, didn't they, answer?
I believe so. I'm not sure what one it is right offhand.
Oh, well, somebody asked, do you think the Tough Enough winners were used to their fullest extent in the WWE?
That's debatable, considering their experience level, and I think that they were exploited, and I think that, but were they, could they have gotten more out of them? Possibly, but, that's not my call. That would be,
Yeah. You think that's a flaw with Tough Enough, though, was like the winner had a lot of the TV exposure, but he wasn't quite ready to be on WWE TV, and by the time he was, they kind of forgot about him?
Not really, because you might end up catching that one guy that might be the right person at the right time. Not to mention, Tough Enough was a great infomercial for the business itself. It helped, open the doors to a whole new audience that never watched wrestling or didn't like wrestling, but they gained a new appreciation and respect for wrestling as it goes to show. Mm-hmm. And therefore maybe generated a few new people to have an interest in wrestling. And, case in point would be what the Ultimate Fighter show, which is just a ripoff of Tough Enough on Spike TV, is now doing for the Ultimate Fight.
Right. Yeah.
It's creating a new audience. It's creating new interest, and it's showing people a different side, allowing a familiarity with the fighters, and increasing a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for the fighters, which is basically getting them over, making them more marketable, and making them be able to sell more tickets because there's that connection with the audience.
Right.
And that's what Tough Enough did.
Was there anybody on there that you really thought you wished would have made it, but they just didn't for whatever reason? On Tough Enough?
There was a couple, but there was one in particular, a black kid on Tough Enough 3 that I personally kicked off, that I fought to get on the show because I thought that he had a lot of talent and a lot of ability, physical ability, but he was just a sack of doorknobs.
How's Matt Capitelli doing in his health situation?
Matt's doing actually very well, from what I understand. He's just looking into all avenues, treatments and so on. But he's a very strong individual. Keeping a very positive attitude, staying very up, and he's doing very well.
Okay. Well, somebody we first saw in Tough Enough was the Boogeyman. Did you have any? Did you work with him in OVW?
Yes.
Okay. Any thoughts on him, on the Boogeyman character?
Marty, Boogeyman is a great performer. I mean, he does have a lot of experience in ring-wise, but he knows how to work the gimmick, and he knows how to sell things.
I've been pushing an idea for him on air for weeks now. When he comes back, yes, WWE should sell gummy worms in the arenas. Boogeyman gummy worms.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah.
Boogeyman gummy worms.
Right. They could eat them. They'd eat them by the handful, so you'd even sell more.
Yeah.
Axel Rotten was a big fan of the idea.
And all the little kids, after they go home after the show, all the little kids be literally bouncing off the walls.
Right. And hopefully,
the parents will have to give them, cough syrup to settle them down.
Right. Just make sure they brush their teeth so they don't lose their teeth like the Boogeyman.
Well, it's kind of hard when you put duct tape on them.
See an incher?
Myself, I have, a couple kids. Granted, there are a few in the basement that we keep locked up. I hope nobody ever finds them. But otherwise, I've got some.
That's where we keep Incher.
What's that?
That's where we keep Incher, 1-inch biceps. He's locked down in the basement right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what's
you put lotion on or he gets the hose.
It puts the lotion in the basket, or it gets the hose again.
Oh, man.
Ash, he's asking, where
Guys,
did you get...
you know what?
What?
Yep.
I was going to say, you ever wonder what, a chick that can take a really good punch? That Arthur.
What was that?
Arthur can take a right hand, I'll tell you.
B. Arthur?
Yeah.
Is there any story behind this?
Go to Hooters, San Diego, you get a platter of 24 winnings, I go to the bathroom, I come back, there are 3 left, she wants to leave me with the bill, there's a fight.
Oh, man. Hal Snow and Maud's throwing it down.
Yeah. Thank God Curie was there to pull her off me.
Oh, man.
Better not the weaker sex, boys, let me tell you. Next time I'll taser her first.
Never underestimate your opponent.
No, you never do.
Yeah. She'd make a good tag team partner for Moolah and me.
Yeah, she'd make a good one for Umaga.
Umaga. Are you,
Umaga and Mata.
Are you a fan of Umaga?
I'm a fag. I'm a fag.
We've just outed Al Snow live on the air.
Yeah, I just outed myself. I'm a big fan of Armando Alejandro Estrada.
Yeah.
Is a protege of Mike from OVW.
Yes. Yeah, any other question from the board there, Inchman?
Ash, he's asking, where did you come up with the head gimmick?
That's a question that's asked numerous times over. I can tell you, I came up with it in ECW, and I can just say that due to the grace of God and a little head, I still have a career.
What did you think about when Walmart discontinued your action figure because of that?
Oh, it was, the sad thing about that was it was all due to 2 women who were, of all things, professors of communications at a college in Georgia, who wrote a letter to the Constitution that Walmart, panicked, apparently fearing that Sam Walton would spin right out of his grave. And immediately withdrew my action figures, not a doll.
Right.
From the shelves of Walmart. But during that time, you could still go to Walmart and buy a shotgun and live ammo.
You know what? You could also buy at the same time. They were selling the. Sorry, go on.
Sleepy Hollow.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. The Sleepy Hollow. And they actually came with like a bucket of severed body parts.
Actual severed head.
Right. If you found the actual severed head, I think you won a prize.
it was okay because I became, national news a bit. I practically had Wolf Blitzer riding around the backseat of my car.
Do you ever miss giving a little head to all the fans before your matches?
Absolutely. I really do. I miss it, but at the same time, I enjoy what I'm doing down here at OVW a lot too.
Yeah. Any plans to be on part of the new ECW?
You know what? I've heard that I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed. You've been there, done it, you're back home, been paid, and check has
Did you enjoy last year's one night stand?
Oh, it was very enjoyable. I got to, it's almost like, a big reunion for me to get to know these ECW guys I haven't seen for a long time, and all the WWE guys I haven't seen for a long time.
Mm-hmm. You wish you would have had a match on the show?
Of course.
Yeah. There a question from the board, man? Incher?
Jobber, he wants to know if there's any good Mick Foley rib stories.
Oh, there's tons of them, but unlike Mick Foley, I'm not obsessed with him. It's almost a sickness for Mick. He's really good at therapy. It's fine.
How about any good rib stories about someone else?
Oh, you know what?
Or anything else.
I don't know how I've developed this reputation. It's so unheard of for me to do anything of that nature. I don't rib people.
Right.
But somehow I've gotten this reputation. This guy who's just always pulling stuff off. I don't want to say that I did it, but let's just say that at one point going through the airport, Maven, after trying to do something to Mr. X, Mr. X was forced to plant a large dildo in Maven's carry-on bag, his wrestling bag, and he knew that he forced to put it through the security X-ray, and that the security would dig through his bag after seeing an unusual object like that and pull it out.
We'll say to that one. I was just wondering, did he have the dildo? Just what was that?
I said it was even a strap-on, which was even better. I said he had it.
No hands involved.
Right. Look, Mom, no hands.
Speaking of, Mrs. Big Red Machine, she's asking what was it like working with Kane and Smoky Mountain tag team titles together.
It's great. It's great. It just, unfortunately for me, Kane at that point in his career had a tendency to hurt me more than he did his opponents just by getting in and out of the ring. He actively, working with big muscle traps. Occasionally, as he would step through the ropes and I was getting in, kicked me in the head, practically knocked me out. So it was more dangerous for me than it was for our opponent.
Have you seen See No Evil?
No, I haven't seen See No Evil yet. I guess it comes out Friday night.
Yeah. That was good. Both you and Kane, you had some gimmicks that didn't go over, when you first came to WWE. Would you give any advice to some guys who might get called up to WWE and like to have a gimmick that they might not be too happy with?
Yeah.
Because eventually you both found a gimmick that worked,
Yeah. Just, everything that you do up there with it, no matter what the gimmick, is all an opportunity. Don't mistake it for anything other than that. And try to make the most of every opportunity you get with each of no matter what it is. No matter what you can do, there's a chance for you to get out there in that ring and make a connection with that audience that will make you instrumental in selling tickets. Regardless of the gimmick, and as you get over and get more control over how many tickets you sell, you'll be able to change your own gimmick. You'll be able to develop it and evolve it into the gimmick you really want to make it cool on.
Right. Do you think that would be good use for the ECW? Maybe send some guys to repackage them there? They were kind of lost in the shuffle with WWE.
I think it would be good to to send guys there to repackage to give them an opportunity to get themselves over, much like I used it.
Right.
And it'd be great for guys that are in the developmental program, whether it be Deep South or OVW, to if they're just not quite on, they're on the cusp, but we've got a place for them to go and get even more polished before they put in a position of being required to draw money.
Yeah. A lot of people saying that's a good place for a CM Punk to go.
CM Punk is doing fine at OVW and he's doing very well if he continues to learn up in WWE.
And the guy we're going to have on tomorrow night, Harry Smith. Will you be working with him in OVW?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah. Are you? Do you know anything about him at all? You high on him?
Good kid. And he's got a great look. He's got a lot of size. He's Davey's son, and he's grown up around the business. So I'm sure that Gary's got a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy working in the ECW arena?
Yes, I loved working in the ECW arena. I loved working in the ECW arena.
Yeah.
The hardest fans, but they're the most efficient fans.
Right.
What? Ball buster.
What do you think about TNA running the ECW arena? Yeah. Yeah.
ECW's home, but now tons of ran ECW.
Yeah. You think it's weird that they all kind of fight over it?
Yeah, I do, but it's kind of not, because it'd be just like as if another wrestling company would fight over Madison Square Garden. And right. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination that ECW is even close in, close to Madison Square Garden.
Right. It's got an aura of it. Yeah.
Madison Square Garden had its history and, has a background and stuff. But, so does ECW.
Mm-hmm. I wish I owned the ECW arena.
I bet you do. I wish you just could move out of your parents' basement.
I'll move right in.
That's a shoe right
there. You just mix up again, ain't you?
Okay. Sorry.
You got a question from the board, man?
Hot Rod, he was asking, how important was Paulie to your career?
Paulie gave me an opportunity, an unrestricted opportunity. Paulie didn't necessarily agree with a lot of the stuff I was doing. As far as head and all that stuff at first, but a lot of it continued to do it for very long. And where I got with it.
When they first came up with the idea for Head, did you think it would ever get over like it did?
I hoped.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was going to have the connection that it had.
Mm-hmm. Do you sometimes wish you weren't, remembered so much for the Head?
No, not at all. I'm okay. Thrilled that I'm remembered for anything.
Yeah. You saw some...
for that, so why would I care?
Oh, yeah. They're a question board, Incher? Question board.
Glaugo, he was asking, did you ever consider going to WCW?
What's that?
Going to WCW while they were open.
I was willing to go wherever they would take me. I didn't want to. I owed it to man, quite a bit of loyalty, and not want to do, but my first loyalty was just one close to my family. It's not a hobby, it's not a game. It's, a way that I feed the family.
Someone from our board, the Flea, he brought up, there's a story about you when you were, stretched by Ole Anderson, I think Gene Anderson. You want to know if you've,
I had the shit kicked out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Stretching is one thing. Getting beat up.
Is that something you remember when you're training the guys? That you don't want to treat the guys like that because you remember how you were treated?
Yes, and I remember how I was treated whenever I went to work for any company at the time when I first went into business, and how they physically and mentally and emotionally abused me night after night for probably a good 4, 5, 6 years.
Have you?
I remember Scott Irwin one time in St. Louis, beating me in the back of the head repeatedly before I could see it. I left eye for half an hour. I thought I was blind.
Yeah.
All,
What was that?
this is all because he could.
Right. Any other question there from the board, Incher?
Let's see.
We also want to know if you have you ever come into contact recently with Ole?
No, I have not, no.
Okay.
No, I have not. And, you know, he did what he thought was, you know, it was, back at that time, I believe that it's far too easy to get into these things. And I think there's far too many people who think opportunities not earned them. And I understand completely why things were done the way they were done back then. And make sure that if I'm playing the if I ever take in this business, that I never threatened the way that Ole or Gene or anybody else as their families. And because all, you know, we all make money together, we all live together, we all die together, and it's locker room in this business. And unfortunately, it only takes one guy to screw it up. And if I were to get into the business and do something that kill the business or kill a town, then that's a town, one less town, and, you know, Ole or Gene or anybody else would have to make money. So I don't hold anything against those guys for doing what they did, and I can see some necessity in the time for why they did.
Right. Probably similar things may have happened to them when they broke in. Or that's the way they were taught to do things.
Probably worse, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I'm not condoning it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
I understand. Yeah.
But
That's the way it was at the time.
So, and it still should be used. It still be forced to. I think the guys should be held accountable for who they train. You know, I know that the guy that trained me. That's why I called the guys on cuff off my kid. Not because I was concerned with the kids, because you call the guys who train your kids because you're responsible for them. And everything they do reflects on you. And if they're the shits, you're the shits. And if that's the case, then, you know, since the business works on trust, people aren't going to trust you anymore. If they're not going to trust you anymore, you're not going to get any work. If you're not going to get any work, you're failing. So people aren't going to be so willing to just train people willy-nilly. You know? Unfortunately, that's not the case. Nowadays, you just go buy a ring, get a building, and, hey, I'm going to start training people.
Do you think certain guys? Do you think you have to have made it in the business to train guys?
I think that you have to have a genuine understanding and a true experience to pass on. You know, a lot of people might have information or knowledge, but you got to make sure that they, you know, that they have the experience to use that knowledge and then to pass it along. It doesn't mean that they all have to work on top or territory or be world champion or or that they've got to, you know, they had to do this or had to do that. They got to have enough experience to be able to, you know, say, guys, here's what I did wrong, and here's why I know I did it wrong, because here's the consequences I suffered from it, and here's why I don't want you to do it. So learn from my mistakes so that you don't make the same one. That's really what you're doing when you train somebody. You're teaching. You're just teaching them based on your own experiences.
You'd mentioned you call them your kids. Are you proud when you see, you know, some of the guys you train on TV? You know, if they actually made it in the business?
Heck yes, very much so. They're a reflection on me. When they're successful, I'm successful. I take what I do very seriously. And I love this business. And I train people. I want to make sure that, you know, the business is protected. And they taught the way that I was taught. Guys taught me, you know, made sure that I knew what I needed to do. Not just how to take a bump or how to put a head bump on. For God's sake, the guys can watch the tape of that. But you so certain things are intrinsic to this business. We've always been there since Congress, so they cease to be there. Then it'll become something else.
Will Paul Heyman be leaving OVW when the ECW starts?
I have no idea. I'm the only person to ask the question. That'd be a question to ask Paul and Vince.
Yeah. In your mind, what would be like what would be the perfect way for the ECW? Do you think it needs to be taped in front of its own audience?
Yeah, I think so. In a perfect world, yeah, I think it needs to be taped in front of its own audience. But, you know, that's in a perfect world.
Right. If it can't be done, yeah.
If it can't be done that way or done right away that way, then you just that's what you gotta do.
What would be, if you had to pick one angle that you did, what would be your favorite?
Geez, I don't know. I did a lot of them. I really enjoyed doing the Blackman. Outside the ring. I like the
head cheese.
The head friend triangle between Rock and myself.
So tell everybody that.
Jealous of Rock because, you know, he was stealing my friend Mick Foley.
Yeah, that was good. It's good to see Mick Foley back on TV.
Yes.
So tell everybody again that this Saturday you're going to be at Millennium Wrestling Federation in Braintree, Massachusetts. For more information, visit Boston Wrestling. Anything you want to tell everybody out there before I let you go?
Just thank you all for your years of support, and, you know, I really genuinely hope that people show up at the show. I'll do everything I can while I'm there to make sure you get your money's worth. I always do.
Hey, everybody, this is the franchise Shane Douglas, the greatest wrestler in the history of professional wrestling, just saying, Philadelphia, get ready to go back to the extreme on April 28th. When you want the best and most lowdown on professional wrestling, you want it right here at IYH Wrestling.com. These are the boys to get it from. Take it from me.